Gas prices have jumped more than 30% in just 2 years, and yet most drivers are still wasting hundreds of dollars every year. Not because of their cars, but because of bad fuel advice. For decades, the internet, gas companies, and even old-school mechanics have passed down myths that sound smart, but secretly drain your wallet and damage your engine. From premium makes your car faster to idling saves gas, these fuel legends have been repeated so often that almost everyone believes them. And that's exactly why they cost so much. In this video, we're exposing the 20 biggest lies about fuel that most drivers still believe, and revealing the surprising truths the industry doesn't want you to know. Stick around until the end, because the final tip reveals a common fuel habit that slowly kills your engine without you ever realizing it. If you're ready to stop wasting gas and start driving smarter, hit that subscribe button and let's break down the truth. Starting with one of the most expensive myths at the pump. Myth number 20, topping off your tank after the pump clicks. We've all done it. The pump clicks off and you give it a few extra squeezes to round up the number or squeeze in a little more fuel. But that habit doesn't give you more gas. It quietly destroys one of the most sensitive systems in your car. Modern vehicles use an EVAP system, a sealed vapor recovery setup that captures fuel vapors before they escape into the air. When you top off the tank, that extra fuel has nowhere to go but into the charcoal canister, a component designed only for vapor, not liquid. Once gasoline gets in there, it breaks down the charcoal, floods the system, and clogs valves and sensors. That's when you'll start seeing a check engine light, rough idle, or even failed emissions tests. Repairing a damaged evap system can cost $500 to $1,000, all because of a few extra cents worth of fuel. When the nozzle clicks, that means your tank is full, not almost. Stop right there, tighten your gas cap, and walk away. You're not beating the system, you're protecting your car from an expensive mistake. Myth number 19. Premium fuel improves mileage and performance. Every driver has seen it. The shiny premium label at the pump promising better performance, cleaner burn, and more miles per gallon. It sounds convincing, but unless your car's engine specifically requires premium fuel, you're just burning money. Here's the truth. Premium gasoline isn't stronger or more efficient. It simply has a higher octane rating, which means it's more resistant to knocking or pinging in high compression and turbocharged engines. Those engines need higher octane to prevent pre-ignition under heavy load. But if your car was designed for regular 87 octane, the computer won't advance timing or make extra power just because you filled up with 93. In fact, your mileage and performance will stay exactly the same. The only difference is the price tag. The AAA tested this across multiple cars and found zero measurable improvement in acceleration, horsepower, or fuel economy when regular fuel engines ran on premium. So, if your owner's manual doesn't call for it, don't waste your cash. Buy the fuel your car was engineered for, not the one the pump tempts you with. Your wallet and your engine will both run better. Myth number 18. Filling up in the morning gives you more fuel. You've probably heard the advice, fill up early in the morning because cooler fuel is denser, so you'll get more for your money. Sounds clever, right? Unfortunately, it's one of the most persistent myths in the fuel world, and it doesn't actually work. That idea would only make sense if gas pumps pulled fuel from above-ground tanks exposed to the sun. But modern gas stations store fuel deep underground, where temperatures remain nearly constant year-round, usually between 55 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That means the temperature difference between morning and afternoon is almost zero. Even if there were a small change, it would take a massive temperature swing to make any measurable difference in the amount of fuel you get, maybe a penny or two at most. So filling up at dawn won't stretch your dollar, but waiting too long to refuel can harm your pump and fuel system. Instead of chasing temperature tricks, focus on practical habits that actually save gas, like maintaining tire pressure and avoiding long idles. When the low fuel light comes on, fill up, no matter what time it is. Myth number 17. You must warm up your engine before driving. This myth has been around since the 1970s, and it refuses to die. Back then, engines used carburetors, which needed time to warm up, so the air-fuel mixture could stabilize. But modern engines are completely different. They use electronic fuel injection and sensors that automatically adjust the mixture the second you turn the key. So when you let your car idle for 10 minutes on a cold morning, you're not helping it, you're wasting fuel. During extended idling, unburned fuel collects on cylinder walls, washing away vital oil and leaving behind carbon buildup. That's the black soot you sometimes see in tailpipes. It also dilutes your engine oil, reducing its ability to protect critical parts. The best way to warm up a modern engine is simply to drive gently. After about 30 to 60 seconds of idling, just pull away and keep your speed moderate for the first few minutes. This helps oil circulate faster, brings your engine to temperature sooner, and wastes far less gas. Long idling doesn't protect your car anymore. It just burns money and builds carbon. Myth number 16, cheap gas destroys your engine. A lot of drivers swear that using cheaper gas from discount stations will ruin your engine, while name brand fuel keeps it clean. It sounds believable, but it's not entirely true. In the United States, all gasoline, cheap or premium, must meet the same minimum standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency. That means the base fuel you buy is virtually identical, no matter where you fill up. The difference comes from the additive packages that brands mix in before delivery. Top-tier stations use more detergent additives, which help reduce carbon buildup on valves and injectors. That can make a small difference over thousands of miles. But cheap gas by itself won't destroy your engine. The real danger comes from poorly maintained storage tanks at gas stations, not the price. Rust, dirt, and water contamination can sneak in if a station doesn't replace filters or clean tanks regularly. And that can happen at any brand. If you want clean, reliable fuel, look for the top-tier certification logo instead of chasing a brand name. Top-tier gas costs only pennies more, but it keeps your engine cleaner for years. Myth number 15, coasting in neutral saves gas. You've probably seen drivers pop their car into neutral when rolling downhill, thinking they're saving fuel. It sounds logical. No engine load means less fuel, right? But in modern cars, the exact opposite is true. Today's engines use electronic fuel injection controlled by an onboard computer. When you coast in gear with your foot off the accelerator, that computer completely cuts fuel delivery. It's called deceleration fuel cutoff. Your wheels keep the engine turning, so it doesn't need to burn any fuel at all. But when you shift into neutral, the engine has to stay idling. And that means it's still using fuel just to keep running. There's also a safety issue. In neutral, you lose the benefit of engine braking, which helps control your speed downhill without overheating your brakes. You also reduce your ability to accelerate quickly if you need to react to traffic. So not only does coasting in neutral waste fuel, it also reduces control and wears out your brakes faster. Keep your car in gear, let the engine do the work, and you'll save both gas and stopping power. Myth number 14. Idling uses less fuel than restarting. This one's been around for decades, and it's completely false. Many drivers believe that keeping the engine running while parked uses less fuel than shutting it off and restarting, but that hasn't been true since the 1980s. Modern engines are highly efficient at starting, using only a few seconds worth of fuel during ignition. In fact, if you're idling for more than 10 seconds, you're already burning more gas than a restart would. That's why newer vehicles with start-stop systems turn the engine off automatically at traffic lights. It genuinely saves fuel. Long idling isn't just wasteful. It also causes damage. When an engine runs without load, it doesn't reach full operating temperature, leading to carbon buildup, contaminated oil, and increased wear over time. And if you're idling with the AC on, you're also straining the compressor for no reason. The rule is simple. If you're waiting more than half a minute, turn the engine off, unless you're in traffic or extreme weather. You'll save gas, reduce pollution, and help your engine last longer. Less idling means more mileage and fewer repair bills. Myth number 13, fuel additives can fix engine problems. Walk down any auto parts aisle, and you'll see shelves full of bottles claiming to clean, protect, or even restore lost horsepower. Sounds tempting. A $10 miracle in a bottle that fixes everything. But the truth is, most fuel additives can't repair real engine problems. Additives are mainly detergents and solvents designed to remove light deposits in injectors or valves. They can help with minor buildup or sticky injectors, but they won't fix a bad coil, weak fuel pump, or worn-out injector. I've seen drivers pour in bottle after bottle, hoping it'll solve rough idles or misfires. And all they did was waste money. In one case, a customer used 6 bottles of cleaner when the real issue was a clogged $15 fuel filter. Additives are maintenance tools, not magic potions. They're useful occasionally, especially if you use low-quality fuel or drive short trips, but they can't undo mechanical wear or electrical faults. If your car runs rough, diagnose first, fix second, and only use additives as prevention, not as a cure. Otherwise, you're just giving your gas tank an expensive bath. Myth number 12, diesel is always cheaper to run. For years, people have said diesel engines are cheaper to own because they get better fuel economy and last longer. While that was true decades ago, it's no longer a guarantee. And in many cases, it's completely false. Yes, diesel engines are efficient. They can deliver 20 to 30% better mileage than similar gasoline engines. But that's only part of the story. Diesel fuel itself often costs more per gallon than regular gas, especially in colder regions or during peak demand. And the real expense comes from maintenance and parts. Diesel engines use high-pressure fuel systems, expensive injectors, and complex emissions equipment like DPF filters and DEF systems. When those parts fail, repairs can easily reach thousands of dollars. A single injector replacement can cost over $1,000, and a clogged DPF can disable your truck completely. Diesel can be great for towing, long-distance driving, and heavy use, but it's not automatically cheaper to own or run. Before buying or filling up, do the math. Fuel economy savings don't matter much if maintenance costs eat it all back. Myth number 11, ethanol fuel ruins engines. Never use ethanol gas, it'll destroy your engine. You've probably heard that one from a friend, a neighbor, or even an old-school mechanic. But here's the truth. Ethanol doesn't automatically harm your engine, at least not in modern cars. Ethanol is simply an alcohol-based additive made from corn or sugarcane. It burns cleaner than gasoline and helps reduce emissions. Most fuel sold in the US today is E10, which means 10% ethanol and 90% gasoline. A mix that nearly every car built since the mid-2000s is designed to handle without any issues. The confusion comes from older vehicles. Cars built before the mid-1990s used rubber seals and metal parts that weren't ethanol compatible, which could lead to corrosion and leaks. But today's cars are equipped with ethanol-resistant components, making E10 and even E15 perfectly safe. Ethanol only becomes a problem in stored fuel, like in classic cars, lawnmowers, or boats that sit for months. In those cases, use ethanol-free fuel or a stabilizer. But for your daily driver, ethanol-blended fuel won't ruin your car. It just powers it like normal gas. Myth number 10, using higher octane cleans the engine. Many drivers believe higher octane fuel keeps their engines cleaner, but that's one of the biggest misconceptions in the automotive world. Octane doesn't clean. It simply measures a fuel's resistance to pre-ignition or knocking. That's it. High-octane fuel burns slower and resists detonation under pressure, which is essential for high-performance or turbocharged engines that run hotter and at higher compression. But for vehicles designed for regular 87 octane, using premium won't scrub carbon, remove deposits, or magically boost engine health. In fact, the extra detergents found in premium fuels are not standardized. They vary by brand, and their cleaning power isn't guaranteed. Modern engines already use top-tier gasoline, which includes specific detergents that keep injectors and valves clean. Those additives, not octane rating, are what protect your engine from buildup. So if your car doesn't require 91 or 93 octane, filling up with it won't make it last longer. It'll just make your wallet lighter. If you truly want a cleaner engine, focus on regular oil changes, quality filters, and top-tier fuel, not higher octane. That's what really keeps your car running strong. Myth number 9, you should always stick to one gas station brand. Some drivers treat their favorite gas station like a loyalty program for their car. Same brand, same pump, every time. They swear their engine runs smoother or gets better mileage from one brand's fuel. But here's the truth. Most of the gas you buy comes from the same regional supply. Refineries produce a base gasoline that's distributed through shared pipelines to stations of different brands. The only real difference comes from the additive package each company mixes in before delivery. These detergents and stabilizers can vary slightly in formula, but all major fuels must meet EPA standards. And as long as the station is top-tier certified, you're getting high-quality fuel no matter whose logo is on the sign. In fact, occasionally using different stations can even help your engine. You'll get a variety of detergent blends, which may clean different kinds of deposits. What matters far more than the name on the pump is station maintenance, clean filters, dry storage tanks, and fresh turnover. Busy, well-maintained stations keep fuel cleaner and engines happier. So, don't be brand loyal, be smart loyal. Myth number 8, fuel filters last forever. One of the most common and costly misconceptions among drivers is that fuel filters never need replacing, but ignoring them can quietly destroy your car's entire fuel system. The fuel filter's job is simple: catch dirt, rust, and debris before they reach your injectors. Over time, tiny contaminants from the gas tank build up inside the filter, slowly restricting fuel flow. When that happens, your pump has to work harder, pressure drops, and your injectors can't deliver enough fuel. The result? Hard starts, hesitation, rough idling, and eventually a burned-out fuel pump. Many modern cars hide the filter inside the fuel pump assembly, which makes people forget it's even there. But just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it's maintenance-free. Older vehicles often have inline filters, which should be replaced roughly every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, depending on your manufacturer's recommendations. A clogged filter can starve your engine and cost you thousands in avoidable repairs. Replacing it is cheap, quick, and one of the best ways to protect your injectors and pump. Don't wait for failure. Treat fuel filters like routine maintenance, not afterthoughts. Myth number 7. Busy gas stations always have better fuel. Many drivers believe that a crowded gas station means cleaner, fresher fuel. After all, if the tanks are constantly being refilled, the gas must be better, right? Not necessarily. While a busy station does move fuel faster, that doesn't automatically make it higher quality. All fuel comes from the same regional pipelines and must meet the same federal standards. What really determines fuel quality isn't how fast a station sells it, but how well that station maintains its storage tanks and pumps. If filters aren't replaced or tanks aren't cleaned regularly, dirt, rust, and even water can contaminate the fuel, regardless of how busy the station is. And when underground tanks are refilled, sediment can get stirred up, meaning you could be pumping debris straight into your car. A slow but well-maintained station can deliver cleaner fuel than a popular one that neglects maintenance. If you want to protect your engine, choose top-tier certified stations and avoid fueling while tankers are refilling underground tanks. Fresh fuel matters, but clean storage matters more. Your injectors will thank you. Myth number 6, higher octane equals more power. This myth might be the most common one at the pump. Many drivers think that using higher octane gas instantly gives their car more horsepower and better performance. But that's not how octane works. Octane doesn't measure power. It measures resistance to knocking or pre-ignition. Engines with high compression ratios or turbochargers need high octane fuel to prevent early combustion. That's why performance cars require premium, not because it makes them stronger, but because it keeps them safe. If your car was designed for regular 87 octane, it doesn't knock under normal conditions, and adding premium won't unlock hidden horsepower. Your ECU won't suddenly change timing or boost just because you spent more at the pump. Even the American Automobile Association, AAA, tested this myth and found zero gains in fuel economy or power when regular fuel engines ran on premium. You'll only see an improvement if your car specifically recommends or requires higher octane. So, save your cash. Premium gas doesn't make regular engines faster. It just makes oil companies richer. Stick to the fuel grade your car was designed for, and your wallet will stay healthier. Myth number 5, running on empty doesn't harm your car. Some drivers love to test how far they can go once that fuel light comes on, bragging about squeezing out just a few more miles. But here's the truth. Running on empty is one of the fastest ways to damage your fuel system without realizing it. Your car's fuel pump sits inside the gas tank and uses gasoline to stay cool and lubricated. When the tank runs low, the pump becomes exposed to air, heats up, and works harder than it should. Over time, that heat causes the pump's internal components to wear out or seize completely, and replacing it can cost anywhere from $800 to $1,200. That's not the only problem. Sediment and debris settle at the bottom of your gas tank. When you're low on fuel, the pump sucks that dirt right into the fuel filter and injectors, clogging them slowly. You might not notice right away, but eventually your car will hesitate, stall, or lose power. The solution is simple. Never let your tank drop below a quarter full. It keeps the pump cool, the fuel clean, and your car far happier in the long run. Myth number 4. Diesel cars are always cleaner and more efficient. For years, diesel engines were praised as the cleaner, more efficient alternative to gasoline. They offered better mileage, more torque, and incredible longevity. And while some of that is still true, the full picture is a lot more complicated today. Diesel engines are indeed more fuel efficient. They can travel up to 30% farther on a gallon than gas engines. But that efficiency comes with trade-offs. Modern diesel vehicles rely on complex emission control systems like DPF filters, DEF injection, and EGR valves to meet environmental standards. If those systems clog or fail, performance drops sharply, emissions spike, and repairs can cost thousands. And as for being cleaner, that depends. Diesel engines emit less carbon dioxide per mile, but produce more nitrogen oxides, NOx, and fine soot, pollutants linked to air quality problems. That's why many cities restrict or tax older diesels. Diesel engines are excellent for heavy towing, highway driving, or long hauls, but they're not always greener or cheaper to run. Before calling diesel the better choice, factor in maintenance costs, emissions equipment, and your actual driving style. Myth number 3, gasoline doesn't go bad. Most drivers think gas lasts forever, that if it's in the tank, it's fine to use. But gasoline has a shelf life, and once it goes bad, it can quietly damage your fuel system. Regular gasoline starts to degrade after about 3 to 6 months, and ethanol-blended fuels go bad even faster. Ethanol attracts moisture from the air, which causes separation. Water sinks to the bottom of the tank, while the remaining fuel loses volatility. When that happens, engines can misfire, hesitate, or refuse to start altogether. The leftover varnish-like residue can also gum up injectors, fuel lines, and carburetors. This issue is especially common in cars, boats, or lawn equipment that sit unused for long periods. Even modern vehicles aren't immune if they're parked for months without running. The solution is simple. If you know your car will sit, add a fuel stabilizer to extend gasoline life up to a year. Or better yet, start and drive it every couple of weeks to keep the system circulating fresh fuel. Gas doesn't last forever. Treat it like milk, not wine, and your engine will thank you. Myth number 2, all gasoline is the same. To most drivers, gas is gas. As long as the pump says 87, it must all come from the same place, right? Not quite. While the base fuel in most regions often comes from the same refineries and pipelines, the additives that get mixed in afterward make a big difference. Every fuel brand uses its own proprietary blend of detergents and stabilizers, and not all of them are created equal. That's why you'll sometimes hear the term top-tier gasoline. It's not marketing hype. Top-tier fuel meets higher standards for deposit control and has more detergents to keep your intake valves, injectors, and combustion chambers clean. AAA testing showed that non-top-tier gas produced 19 times more carbon deposits than certified top-tier fuel after just 4,000 miles. Those deposits can reduce fuel economy, cause rough idling, and shorten engine life. And the cost difference? Usually only a few cents per gallon. So, while all gas technically meets minimum regulations, not all gas keeps your engine healthy. Choosing top-tier stations is one of the easiest, cheapest ways to protect your car's performance. Myth number 1, fuel system. Cleaning is always necessary. If you've ever been told you need a fuel system cleaning at every oil change, you've probably been targeted by one of the most common upsells in the auto industry. The truth? For most cars, routine fuel system cleaning isn't necessary at all. Modern engines already burn fuel with detergent additives that keep injectors and valves clean, especially if you use top-tier gasoline. Unless you're experiencing symptoms like rough idling, hesitation, or poor fuel economy, your system is likely doing its job perfectly fine. In fact, unnecessary chemical cleanings can sometimes loosen debris and cause more harm than good. Manufacturers rarely recommend these services on a schedule. Even Consumer Reports and AAA agree that unless there's a specific problem or diagnostic code, you're wasting money. The only time it's useful is if you drive short trips, use poor quality fuel, or notice a clear performance drop. Instead of paying for unnecessary flushes, replace your fuel filter on schedule, use quality gas, and drive your car regularly. Those simple habits keep your system clean. No overpriced miracle cleaning required.